It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Hello again, everybody. Johnny Styles here with the Wellness Observer Live. Thank you so much for joining me after a little long hiatus since I saw you guys here on YouTube and on the World Wide Web or on the worldwide social media because we took a break after the Arnold Classic. Things kind of wind down, and we're back in full force with shows, so you can expect a lot of reviews and recaps and updates and 5 stars rating reviews and 4 stars and 3 stars and 2 stars and maybe 1 stars, which we'll get into a little bit further on. And this video will be recapping the 2023 Samson show, which was held in Las Vegas, Nevada. Arguably one of the worst lineups in the pro wellness world, if you want to call it that, in terms of quality in competitors. But again, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Upcoming this week, we'll be having the 2023 Houston Tournament of Champions, and just added to the list of a whopping 5 competitors, we've added Jennifer Solars. You know her as Jenny Sachs, and Jenny's gonna be in that show. I'm putting the list right here. It's just updated now. So it was 5 competitors, and now with Jenny is 6. With that being said, it is a little bit crazy because I don't know if you guys don't realize, or I don't know how many of you here watching follow the industry, but things are happening in a weird way. Remember back in the day, fitness, the category fitness, which right now, Ariel Kadar just won in the Arnold Classic. And that category itself was very, very popular once before, believe it or not. And that category had a boom, if you want to call it that. And then progressively, the category started to diminish, and promoters started to not put professional fitness on their shows. Why did that happen? I'm going to put the graphic up here again. Listen, the past show that we're going to talk about had 5 competitors, okay? And now this one in Houston has 6 competitors. These wellness girls that are not doing these shows, they don't realize that they're basically mimicking what happened to the pro fitness. What's going to happen when promoters decide to just run pro bikini or pro men's physique or even women's physique, but they're not going to be able to feature pro wellness. They in the end, they're going to be ending up why, and I'll have you or some of you in my DM. Why doesn't this show have wellness? Why does the other show doesn't have wellness? Why? And it's because you are not getting the amount of competitors that these promoters kind of want. Remember, wellness is huge. It's a big boom, right? And then you have these promoters and their sponsors sponsoring the event, and you only 4 girls show up. And what's going to happen is eventually they're not going to do the show. So if you're a wellness competitor, for example, Pittsburgh Pro is coming up, I implore you to send your contract in. Tell the world, enough with the secrecy, enough with the BS of like, oh, what show are you doing? I don't know. And then you're showing up. Hell, show the world you're doing Pittsburgh Pro. Show the world you're doing Puerto Rico Pro, New York Pro, all these shows. Tell the world, because your fans are even going to be probably there. So some people actually travel to the shows just to see you compete because, believe it or not, some of you out there do have fans. So again, coming back to this week, we have, the battle against, one more time, with Battle of the Blondes with Jennifer and Amanda Burnett. They both have always have a great trajectory, and I love seeing them on stage. That in itself is going to be an amazing, showing between those two. And every chance that, they're on stage on the same show, it's always a good, spectacle to be seen. So if you're a wellness competitor and you're planning your 2023 season, please make sure you put in your contracts in. At this moment, I don't know if Sunny Andrews is going to do Pittsburgh Pro. She should do it because she should defend her title. But at the moment, I am not sure if she's doing the show or not. Angela Borges, which has done Pittsburgh twice, She won that first Pittsburgh Pro. Is she gonna do the show? I have no idea. Yorishna Ayala, the Ocho, is nowhere to be seen in the world. So I highly doubt she's going to do a Pittsburgh anyways. But if you're a wellness professional, please, support these shows, these promoters that are doing whatever they have in their power in order for you to show your very best on stage, of course, on the IFBB Pro League. Okay, so now that I got out of the way, that whole little rant, I'm going to talk about the SAMPSON Pro Show. Okay, the SAMPSON Show, again, was featured in Las Vegas, Nevada. And this show in itself featured 5 competitors. And to the promoters' extent, I guess, it is not the promoters, probably the promoters' fault. I mean, it was a different show. I've never heard of this show before. But pretty much they don't control who's going to show up here and there. Alexis Adams walks in there and wins and snags in her Olympia, qualification, and props to her. Again, it is not Alexis's fault that the competition was terrible. And she went in there, did her job. She came in the way she wanted to come in and completely destroyed the lineup. So if you see this lineup right here, is more than clear that the judges had Alexis winning with straight ones. Judges 3 equals 6. It was place number 1. And then, you have all these other girls that I'm going to talk to in a second. So again, if you're doing a show, please tell the world, tell the promoter, tell the IFBB Pro League, go in there, because people, I'm not going to sit here again and say, hey, I've done all of this for the class and now we're bringing it down. I know people that are behind the scenes that are trying their very best to clear out the class and the category. Come on, we gotta keep it going, okay? We know us in the real know that wellness is the very best, so we gotta keep promoting the class. All right. So first up, I'm gonna talk about the first 5 girls from 5 to 1. I'm gonna give them my honest styles star rating, and of course I'm going to talk about the show. So the first one is going to be Tina, I hope I'm saying her name right, Tina Brashears. I think that's her name, Tina Brashears. And I have never seen Tina before, but this, my friends, is sadly going to be the first 1-star rating of the year. This is very bad, ladies and gentlemen. This doesn't belong on a professional stage. I don't know her. I don't know how many weeks she took off to do the show, but this is very, very bad. You can see there is some clear, the skin is not looking very good in this area right here. There is barely any glute development on the side. There's barely any lines. She just doesn't look ready for a professional stage. And in this pose, she kind of is holding the midget. And I really don't like that. It just doesn't look polished enough to be up there on stage. When you see her walking over here, waist is very wide. And again, there is absolutely no definition on her quads. She looks like she's not ready to step on stage. If you're this off on stage, you can totally, go back to the drawing board and do probably 20 more weeks. This is something that, she probably need help with her coach or whatever. This front pose needs a lot of help. And I'm going to be talking about posing in a minute. But this front pose, she's completely hiding, especially her quad. If she had a quad and she had the whole conditioning game on, and I'm a judge and I'm looking from the left side looking up, she's completely covering her quad. Okay. And she, her hips are back. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And she should absolutely, take some posing classes. If Alexis was there, she should have done classes with all of these competitors. From the back, you can, I'll start off with the right things to say. She does have some of the teardrop right here. If you see it right here, she does have a little bit of a teardrop that I'm pointing to you guys now. Other than that, she does have some calves over here. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not good. This is 1 star. and this is not good. She still has water, she still has fat, and she still needs a lot of work, a lot of work. So Tina, if you're watching this, or if somebody shows you this video, this is, again, nothing personal. This is just my critique, and you just need to get, some work needs to be done in order for you to step on a pro wellness stage. Next up, we will have Elizabeth Williams, and she places fourth in this show. Say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. So she places fourth in this show. And from this very front pose, she looks pretty good. I'm not gonna go too hard right now. Good arms, and not very conditioned on that front quad. And her makeup looks a little bit light. But when you see her in transition to the next pose, you can see that she's a little bit washed out in the abs, and her arms look pretty good, look very figure-ish, very figure-ish. And the most important thing here, and I'll point it out, is that if you guys see her quads right here are very up and down. What I mean by that is they're very straight on. And in wellness, you have to have that big round outer sweep, and she absolutely is lacking in that department. Next up, on the other pose, as you see here, she has a lack of upper glutes in this side. Very, very, flat on that upper glute. Lower glute is fine, but she's showing the calves here pretty good. Absolutely no definition on the quads, not even from the side. And to her credit, she does have some hamstrings, very good, but not enough. And then from the back, this is, again, very, very bad. Something happened here with the the glue of the bikini, and you can totally tell she does have that teardrop teardrop of the glutes, and you can see that she does have hamstrings, so I'll give her that. And she does have calves, so I'll give her that too. Her glutes, her overall glutes, need to get better, so I'll give her 2 stars, okay? Because once you see that there is some potential there, I mean, in terms of conditioning, she still needs to get better. Her glutes needs to be bigger, and everything else, from the back, it wasn't bad. When you're doing this shows and you have somebody, putting glue on your bikini in the back, always make sure that your bikini is on point, because if you see here, there is some issue with that bikini. In third place, we have Tracy Williams, and I'm going to be talking about Tracy here in a little bit. Right now, I guess. So some of you have pointed out that, Tracy looked good and she had conditioning and all this, that, and the other. You can have the best conditioning in the world, but if your presentation is terrible and your overall look, you just cannot win on conditioning alone if your entire package is not very good. So when you see her here, when you see Tammy Severs here, this pose is not good. She's standing way up and down, although, again, she does have good conditioning and good color, good arms, good delts, but this side leg is way, way up and down. And again, that side arm, I saw a few pictures of that side arm, and boy, oh boy, she was holding the midget the entire freaking time. This front pose right here, you can tell that her quads aren't cut as enough, doesn't have enough conditioning on those quads, and it is terrible. That front pose is absolutely terrible. That hand, again, she is holding the midget one more time in that left arm. If I went ahead and drew a midget right here, for those of you who don't know, that's the way we used to call it back in the day. You hold the midget. I would have drawn a midget right here, and you holding it. You that hand cannot just be there. You got to have the hand relaxed, and it looked really, really bad. You can tell that she does have abs, but you'll see what happened in a minute, because as she does the turns, something does happen. So the next pose that she does is the back pose, which a lot of you, to your guys' credit, did the right thing. You guys said, from the back, she looks really good, and I'll give her that. She does have calves. She does have those, tie-ins in the glutes and the hams, very good. But you just cannot win on just one just pose. You know, it's got to be a complete total package. And when you're talking about total package, this thing happens right now. What do you guys see in this picture? She's doing the front pose again, always with that hand out, which is not good. But she has a lot of pictures, and I saw a video too where she was letting her midsection out. Okay, she was letting what, you know, back in the day in the bodybuilding world we used to call, you know, some people had like a bubble gut, meaning that they were breathing a certain way and they were just letting the distension in the abs show. You absolutely cannot do that on stage. The judges will mark you down for it. Another thing that, you know, caught my eye, especially watching the pictures one by one, it's her makeup. Her makeup, in my opinion, was very, very light. Whoever did her makeup did not match the tan and did not match the exact foundation in order for her to look her very, very best. This is another shot, which is terrible shot again. As you can see, the distension in her stomach is terrible. This is terrible. This is one of those competitors that I would gladly give, I don't know, body 2 stars. In the presentation, I'll give her 1 star because it's that bad. So, Tammy, you need to go back to the drawing board, my friend, and you need to assess all these errors in your physique, because in terms of conditioning, it looks like you do have conditioning. It looks like you have that nailed down. So next up, I'll have Haley Johnson, who places second. Haley looks like a very beautiful girl, good tan, overall good look. I would like to see her with a little bit bigger quads, and her quads need to be a little bit more diced. So overall, I mean, I like her presentation, her shape, her structure. You know, does she need to work on certain things? Yes. This side pose can be a little bit, you know, a little bit better. She does have this tattoo right here, and kind of distracts a little bit. Her calves could get better. You know, see how Haley, she is sticking, she's not putting her midsection out, it's towards in. But overall, I like this pose on her. I like this pose a lot on her, actually. This is where, you know, she still needs a lot of work, though. The glutes are there. You can tell she does have glutes. You can tell that the outer quad from the back looks really good, but she still needs conditioning. Can the calves get better? Yes, I believe the calves can get better. But, you know, I like the tanning. I like her tanning. I like her presentation. Her hair, too, you know, little bits and pieces. But one thing you guys have seen throughout this recap is that conditioning has been off, except for Tammy. You know, Tammy delivered on conditioning, but everything else was off. So always, you know, think about that always. So winning the show, believe it or not, people, ladies and gentlemen, the smallest girl in the lineup, Alexis Adams, which we've had here in the show many, many times. She's great. She's amazing. And if you don't know the story, Alexis was prepping for the Arnold Classics. She didn't get picked. And then at the very last second, she did get picked. She did the show. She played it up right there in that first call out. And then right after that, she wasn't satisfied. She wanted to get better. She did get better and improved. And this is definitely her best package today. This is her signature pose, which is her front pose, but this is like her signature posing routine pose. And for those girls that don't know, Alexis also does those posing. So she should have like helped these girls out on stage. And yes, Alexis did great color. Alexis is sponsored by Liquid Sunrays, of course. Great abs, good cap delts. Side leg is absolutely crazy. And, when she turns to the side, this is the only pose that I think she can still get better because, if you see her, she is still a little bit up and down. I still think, this is where you can see that her glutes have actually improved with these round glutes. She has worked hard for those, ladies and gentlemen. And then she has the calves and everything. But I would have liked to see this little, side hip right here, a little bit further out. And, just little kinks here and there. You're nitpicking at the end of the day. This is the other side pose that she does, proving to the world that she does have crazy glutes. And this, you see her conditioning is not too hard, not too soft. And I'm sure her and Nelson, her coach, have, dialed in the tunes, the right tunes to get this complete package. This is the pose that I'm most proud of right now, because this was the pose that Alexis needed to work on. She was good from the front and from the sides, but always from the back, she was super soft and very watery and, kind of faded away in shows. This is a look that she can look at and say, you know what, I was good on that day. Can I get better? Of course, because Alexis at the moment is small. And people say, well, don't you think she's a little bit small for the wellness class? Yes, but it's a whole package. Isa Pereira Nunez is number 2 in the world, and she won the Arnold, and she was the smallest girl. So it's a matter of little things that you gotta, when you look at this lineup completely, there's not even a hands up. I'm not even gonna post the pictures of the lineup because it's not even freaking worth it. But if you go to NPC News Online, you can find out all the pictures of the comparisons, and you'll see Alexis posing on the lineup, and you'll see a disaster of the other 4 girls posing in the lineup. So make an effort to learn how to pose, especially if you're a professional. So in this pose, Alexis has big, full glutes. She has worked hard for this teardrop right here. This is the first time that I can say that Alexis has like a full-blown, back shot on her glutes. Her calves are awesome. You can see the hamstrings right here. Overall, she did amazing. And then she ended up the whole thing with the front pose, which is awesome for her. Tight, very tight waist, good flare on the shoulders, little waist, side glute, and then as you can see, the actual quads, you can see them on this front pose while the leg is up and in the back leg. So I am very, very happy for Alexis, and I'm very happy that she's going to be in the Olympia, which will be held in Orlando, Florida, and we're all going to be there. But again, I don't want to take anything away from Alexis's win. She went there to do her job. Her job was to win a show. Once you're a professional, that's what you do. You go to the shows and win. It is what it is. She doesn't control who she's going to face. She doesn't control how the other people are going to come up. So nothing to take away from this win in Alexis's book. I'm happy for her, and she only can get better from here. You guys, if you don't follow, make sure you follow her. I will give Alexis in this show, I will give her 4 stars. 4 stars, because I still believe that her side poses can still get better, and of course her overall package can get even better. Again, congrats to Alexis. I know this prep was really hard. She lost her grandmother, and she lost one of her fur babies. And let me tell you, if you're a fur baby parent, you know how that feels. And I'm happy. I condemned her, because then more power to her. We will see her at the Olympia stage in Orlando, Florida. This was the recap of the Samson Show. We'll keep recapping shows. We have the Houston Pro. Well, we have Jenny against Amanda, and I'll be covering that for all of you at home, and we'll be giving away the stars. And hopefully you guys listen to the message I said at the beginning of the whole contract signing, because we need more girls in the wellness shows. Because guys, I kid you not, these promoters will see that you're not participating, and they won't have the class, and that means less money for you, and that means less exposure for the class that we all love. This has been Johnny Styles, the godfather of wellness, the one and only, your one true place for all things pro wellness. Keep it locked here, and I'll see you very, very soon. Let's do this.